Alright lads, it is once again that time of the month where I prepare you for what is going to be coming to the NA version of the game for the month of August. Now, excuse me if you hear some actual battle of gods going on in the background. I took Thor's lunch money and he's coming to take it back. But that's not going to stop me from making sure that you are informed on what's going on for the month of August. Now, this is kind of an interesting position that we're in over on the NA version of the game because, as a lot of you guys may know, there was a very big event that was skipped over here on the NA version that we're kind of waiting to see when that comes. And as I'm recording this video, we don't actually have it in game, but I can still pretty accurately surmise what we're going to have kind of for this last month of June and then going into the month of August. I think I can kind of piece this together for you guys. But first, this video is once again sponsored by Bai. If you don't know what Bai is, they are a long-time supporter of the channel and they basically run what is Japanese eBay. And now, why is this important for you guys? Well, as FGO players, there are a lot of figures that just never find their way over to the West and they just stay in Japan forever and we never have access to them, right? Like, I'm never going to go to a shop and see this amazing Morgan figure over here. And so they give you the ability to actually buy some of these figures and then they'll ship it to you. And for my viewers, they will actually give you 10% off of your order up to 5,000 yen if you use my link and little code down in the description down below. So thank you once again, Bai, for sponsoring this video. I hope you guys find some good merch that might actually come out for the 8th anniversary. That's why I'm like, you know, last year they started dropping like all the Serranos plushies and everything, so I wonder what they're gonna drop this year. Maybe Olga Marie is like the new big servant that comes out. Maybe they drop a cool new figure. You can cop that over on Bai. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Now, I think I can guarantee that the first two events we will see either for the last week of June or the beginning of August is going to be Nero Fest and then Hunting Quest 11 over here, right? These seem to be the next two events that are lining up because if you look over here, Hunting Quest 11 is supposed to follow the Morgan banner, but the reason I think that when this video goes up, we should be seeing like an announcement or something for Nero Fest is that look at this little key detail right here. The Morgan banner dropped right here on the 18th, and then the Hunting Quest followed it 2 days after on the 20th. The fact that they didn't shotgun the Hunting Quest Part 11 right after the Morgan banner leads me to believe that they are probably going to do Nero Fest first and then have Hunting Quest follow that. So we'll have Nero Fest be like the end of June, beginning of August, then probably lead into Hunting Quest over here, and then everybody's pretty happy, right? Because you can spend all your apples over here, and then if there's any random materials in need, you know, you can farm them over here. I kind of already went over this in a different video when I was talking about Nero Fest being postponed. There are actual good mats in here. It's just obviously releasing this before Nero Fest doesn't feel very good to farm because it's just a lesser lotto. You do get some QP, you do get some materials, you do get some EXP cards. I guess you technically get some mana prisms as well. But it's just not as lucrative as farming Nero Fest, especially when this lotto is insane for a lot of people. Even after clearing the first 10 boxes, you're still able to get pages, medals, proofs, chains, dust, like things that people actually need a lot of, right? Like these, especially proofs and dust, can be very annoying for a lot of players, especially if you're newer trying to level up a lot of those older servants that do need a lot of them. And then God forbid you have somebody like Quetzalcoatl, you know, you're going to be needing those chains. I know that I was whenever I got her during the Babylonia thing. I was like, bro, she needs how many chains? And she just robbed me of all of them. So that's the main big reason a lot of people want this Nero Fest to come out, because it brings a lot of very lucrative mats, and also people are QP starved right now. I'm seeing a lot of people that are like, man, I used to have really good QP stores and now they're all completely gone and I can't even level up the skills of my new servants. Or you're me and your Melusine is stuck at level 1 because you ran out of EXP cards, and I refuse to go farm dailies at full AP. I am not doing that, bro. I already had to farm those dailies to try to get Koyenskaya done, and I did a little bit to get Oberon done. I don't want to farm any more dailies, dude. I'm kind of done with that. There is a nice little bonus thing with this Nero Fest, though. It brings back all of the challenge quests from both the original Nero Fest. Now, the first one might be really fun for people that didn't get to do this the first time. But if you're an older player, this is going to be exceptionally fun, especially if you're like me. You just get to absolutely annihilate these stages, right? Because some of these stages that just gave you a lot of trouble in the past, where you're like, oh man, this Herc with the 12 lives is going to be way too hard for me to beat. And now you just come in here and you just cook him up quick, fast, and in a hurry, right? You have people like I think Siegfried is the fourth one. Yeah, right here. Where he just has insane defense. And it was like, oh my goodness, if I didn't have Emmy to pierce defense, this guy was impossible. And now you probably got like 30 different people that can pierce defense and just mop this guy. I think you probably one tap him if you really want to. And so it's just all of these quests that used to be really difficult, that now you get to bring in these new stupid dummy OP guys and you get to just absolutely eviscerate them. I'll cover these guys more in depth. I'll give them their own video so I can give you better strategies, but trust me, they're a lot of fun. Some of the first ones feel like they've got a gimmick, but it's not super annoying. Now, the part 2 ones, not all of them are like the most fun. Like, okay, the Arash one is basically like you just trying to like work through like all of his times firing Stella, right? Because he has like multiple guts, and so you're trying to get him to kind of, for lack of a better term, game end himself, right? And so some of these are fun. Some of them can be a little bit annoying. Some of these like require timing, like the Karna Arjuna one, but they're still not all that bad, right? I don't think they're that terrible. They're not as bad as say like some of the Gilfest ones, which really got really annoying. Like the Shiba one really got on my nerves, stuff like that. But yeah, it's just overall a very fun event, because if you need to farm, you've got that. Do you want to do some more challenging, difficult content? You've also got that. It's just a very fun event all around that I believe we will be seeing very, very soon on the NA version of the game because of this right here. Because otherwise, why would they hold back hunting quests if they weren't going to be dropping Nerofest? I mean, but if they do decide to just skip out on this event, a major, like, real event, I'm going to be absolutely baffled. I know we talk about global first, but I don't want a global first to be, oh yeah, here you use an NA exclusive. You guys miss out on Nerofest. I think that'd be really bummy. Or I guess an interesting way they could go about it is they could just rebrand it, right? They could be like, oh, we're doing Grand Gilfest instead or something. Like, that's the NA exclusive. Just give me a lotto, bro. Just give me something. Bring back the Skahawk lotto. That one was real easy to farm. Everybody could do it because all you needed was Chen Dingledong. Now, what's going to happen after that? Because these are the two major events that people are kind of waiting on, because Hunting Quest is an absolute shaft if we get that, and then Nerofest is a colossal W. But there is other stuff that has to happen during the month of August, believe it or not. And I believe one of the things we will see is the Prisma Ilya, campaign over here. Now, it probably won't be branded as the movie release, because that's more of a JP thing. If you guys remember, I believe it was last year for our winter campaign, they kind of just repurposed a prototype. I believe it was like a CD release that they had over there, and they repurposed that as like, oh, winter campaign, here, Arthur and Ozzy are on Raid Up, right? They will probably do something along those lines, because they really can't delay this too long, because it actually comes with a very relevant servant strengthening. Now, Ilya over here becomes really insane, because for whatever reason, they thought they could give her a 50% battery, and then that was just going to be A-okay with everybody, because the dynamic, right, with a lot of servants is that, like, some of them have really high damage but no battery, and then some of them have lower damage but a massive battery. That was kind of the dynamic between Ilya and Sanzo, is that Ilya did a lot more damage, but, she didn't have the battery, so Sanzo is often, like, a bit more useful. Now, Sanzo's kind of, cleaned up that gap. She's kind of closed it a little bit with her second skill buff, and said, like, you know what, to help Ilya compete, let's give her a 50% battery. I'm like, well, now she still does more damage. So I don't know, if you're an Ilya person, you are absolutely eating with this one, because now you got the highest damaging single target caster over here. And she's also got a 50% battery, which is not as big as Sanzo's 80%, but 50% is probably going to be enough for the most part, right? Like, Sanzo's, I think, is a bit better for certain clears where you're using, like, double Castorian, weird 90++ nodes, and you need her to, take somebody out. Stuff like that can be really nice, where she only needs one charisma to fire her NP. Stuff like that can be very, very useful. But for the most part, I mean, Ilya can do the same thing. She just requires 2 Castoria, skills, and then you can also use her for a wave clear. So I don't know. Ilya definitely moving up a lot. And then Miyu also technically moving up a lot, because now she goes from completely unplayable to kind of playable, because they were like, this little lore thing we got down here where she has to, like, lose a lot of HP for no reason. What if we just remove that and we made her NP even better? There you go. If you want to use Miyu, if you maxed her out, you have her NP5 or something because you were summoning on whatever banner. I don't even remember what her original banner was. But you summoned on that banner and you got her NP5. Bada boom, bada bing. She's a lot better now. You can actually use her. So I would expect this sometime during the month of August, and it probably will be like a dead week or something. They'll probably just drop this and they'll be like, here you guys go, enjoy. The complete 5-head move would be like, all right, Nerofest end of June, and then the last week of it would be the first week of August. Then combine these together, right? Combine these, because they're both kind of like smaller things. Combine those, and then we can start getting into summer. Now, keep in mind, we may not see summer during the month of August because there is a pre-release campaign before the actual event drops. And if you think about it this way, like, let's say NeroFest is the last month of June, first week of August, then this would be like the second week of August. There's a potential dead week if this is the third week of August, if this is all they're going to drop. And then there's a pre-release campaign for this, that could be the fourth week of August. And then this would actually drop, truthfully, at the beginning of September. So it could be dropping rather late, but that's why I think it's a very five-head move if you actually want to combine these together to kind of let us start moving into summer, right? Because I know a lot of people both simultaneously want this to come around because there are some very hot servants that come out with this. And that's also why there's a lot of people that want it to stay back, because you got some very powerful options that come here. Saber Alter over here, or I guess Okita Saber Alter, I should call her, so not to confuse people. But she is very, very good as a quick AoE. I don't know very many people that are still doing quick farming as of right now, because now Castoria and Kolyanskaya are live in the game. But if you're still doing quick, she's a very, very strong option, and these are very fun servants to use. They're not the craziest people on the planet, but they are fun to use, right? They're not bad, and so this is a very strong banner. That's not the one I'm looking for. There we go. Doman also comes back. Doman's a very, very strong option that I know a lot of people are probably looking forward to. Because, well, I can't say a lot of people are looking forward to, because from at least looking at the different like FGO chats and everything, different Discords and like Twitter and everything, reactions seem to be very mixed on Doman. You either really love him or you despise this guy. So I don't know, for some people this is an automatic skip, and for some people they're going to be trying to NP5 him. But the real prize for Summer 6, I believe, is Kama Avenger over here. Now, if you already have Space Ishtar, you probably don't need this servant. She's kind of like an alternate version of Space Ishtar. They borderline, as an arts farmer, do the same thing, right? Kama can even do a little bit more damage in some scenarios, although I did break that down a couple of months ago when I was talking about the best arts looper. But, you know, Space Ishtar still has a bit more utility because she can swap her card types, she can become a buster farmer, all that good stuff. But Kama is definitely very, very strong. These two, I don't think are as strong or like as fun to play with as these two. I mean, I like Summer Sage. She can have a little bit of fun with her, but really the prize on this one is Kama Avenger, right? Like, you really want to go for this one. And that's pretty much going to be it for the month of August, potentially. Like, that's why I'm like, it's a bit weird to make this video, because we still need to see if NeroFest is coming out first or Hunting Quest is coming out first. But I hope I've kind of mapped it out for you, that it's like, this can come first and then NeroFest can come after that, or NeroFest can drop right now as I'm recording this video, and then Hunting Quest can follow that, right? It's really fine. It's just preferably we would like to have NeroFest first, because who is going to farm the lesser lotto event before NeroFest drops? Like, it might just literally only be me. Like, I might be the only person that's doing that, and it might just be for like extra QP and EXP cards if I'm going to keep it a stack with you. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Is there anything that you think might be like a little curveball thing they might throw at us? Will there be some like JP tie-in for the anniversary? I don't really think so. I don't think they're going to tie into Anniversary, although I think that'd be very cool. If anybody's played Dokkan, they do events like that where they take the JP and the NA version of the game and they share their celebrations. That stuff is really, really cool. I think we're a bit far off from doing that, and I don't think they'll do it for Anniversary, but I would love to see it for like, I don't know, Christmas. That could be really cool. We get like a same time release for like a Christmas servant. Something like that could be cool. But just trying to kind of get the creative juices flowing. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Make sure to check out that bio link down in the description down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Twitch, Discord, everything in the description. And I'm gone. Peace. Late, guys.